It is an honor to be here to preach today. Actually, those words don't begin to tell how glad I am to be here today. And it's also surreal, but more about that in a few minutes. In case we have not met before, my name is Vicky Daub. I'm a fourth-generation Colorado native and lifelong Lutheran. Besides Bethany, I have been a member at 4 other Rocky Mountain Synod churches along the Front Range. I have been married to my husband Larry for more than 30 years. Larry is a Vietnam veteran who served in the United States Air Force for more than 20 years in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. I am grateful for the opportunity that Pastor Nate and Pastor Gary gave me to preach here today. In the story I read the children earlier from the World Bible, Otto asked his sister Ada, "Wait, are we talking about talents or are we talking about money?" After thinking for a moment, Ada answers, "I think both." Ada's answer challenged me to rethink this parable this past week. I started focusing more about all of our and my God-given talents for this sermon today. I mentioned just a moment ago that it's surreal for me to be preaching in this spot today. Now let me share the story why. In 2011, I retired from teaching math at Eagle Crest High School in the Cherry Creek School District. That summer and fall, I spent time volunteering at Metro Caring with Larry. I also volunteered at Coble Library. On Thanksgiving Eve in 2011, Larry and I attended worship here. I was singing in the chancel choir and sitting right over there, and Larry was ushering. Michael Peterson, a country music artist, performed for us that night. Maybe some of you were here. During a break in his show, he stood right in this spot and told us that 20 veterans a day were completing suicide in our country. As Larry and I drove home from worship that night, we talked and knew that God was asking us to take action to help our country's veterans. Heather Ely from Project Sanctuary was also present that night. This organization was founded in 2007 as a respite for military and veteran families. We volunteered at the January 2012 Project Sanctuary retreat and most of their other retreats that year. One of Larry's God-given talents is serving others. Of course, as I already mentioned, Larry is a veteran. From the beginning, he fit right in. It was tougher for me, though, since I didn't meet Larry until after he left the Air Force. As such, I had never served as a military spouse. My God-given talents include my ability to teach math and being a good teacher. Neither one of those talents were especially useful, at least in the beginning, at Project Sanctuary retreats. But I did my best to help in any way I could. One thing both of us observed from the very first retreat: these events were transformational. We watched people arrive on a Friday night that weren't talking, especially the children, that were not interacting with any of the other kids and sticking really close to their parents. But by the time Wednesday, usually it happened on Sunday, but certainly by the time Wednesday rolled around, all the kids were playing together and the parents were also transformed. Toward the end of 2012, we were asked to become healthy marriage facilitators, also known as teachers, for the retreat starting in 2013. Hallelujah! I had found my retreat niche. We facilitated healthy marriage seminars not only at Project Sanctuary retreats, but also for other nonprofits all over the country. This continued until early 2019. A heartfelt thank you to Pastor Ron Glusenkamp, Pastor Gary, Pastor Nate, and Janet Mortensen. These 4 faithfully supported us as we worked with veterans all over the country. It should be emphasized that we did not have the talents to facilitate healthy marriage seminars on our own. As such, we partnered with 2 Colorado nonprofits, the Center for Relationship Education, who scheduled our workshops all over the country, and PrEP, who provided our workshop materials. Veterans Servant Corps Project continues to work with PrEP today. In early 2016, Larry learned that he had multiple myeloma. Until then, he didn't know that he had been exposed to Agent Orange while serving in the Vietnam War. With Janet's help, we connected with Dr. Rifkin at Rocky Mountain Rocky Mountain Cancer Center. Dr. Rifkin is a multiple myeloma expert located right here in the Denver area. He assured us that Larry could continue as a healthy marriage facilitator, even providing us with his personal cell phone number to use if Larry became ill while we were traveling. Dr. Rifkin continues to be Larry's physician today. In early 2017, having had time to internalize and accept Larry's multiple myeloma diagnosis, we decided that next steps included me going to seminary so that I had a path forward to continue serving veterans with or without Larry. I started classes at Luther Seminary in September 2017. 2/3 of my classes were online. When I needed to attend classes in person, Larry traveled with me. I graduated with my Christian ministry degree in May 2019, eager to go and start serving veterans. I had a few minutes to wait, though. A few months, not just minutes. Suffice it to say that waiting is not one of my strong suits. Finally, in February 2020, notice the timing, February 2020, Bishop Jim Gonia, Pastor Gary, and I developed what will become Veterans Servant Corps Project. Despite the COVID pandemic, Veterans Servant Corps Project was approved as a self-funded Rocky Mountain Synod ministry on October 1st, 2020. And self-funded means there are no funds received from the Rocky Mountain Synod. All funds that run Veterans Servant Corps Project are donations. I am the organization's executive director. I serve with 6 other board members from across the Rocky Mountain Synod. One of our key initiatives that has been delayed because of the pandemic are veteran retreats. I am happy to announce that Veterans Servant Corps Project is planning 2 retreats for veterans and their families at Rainbow Trail in 2024. Yes, I am an overachiever, even in my retirement. I also serve as a member of Colorado's Joining Community Forces organization, a group of more than 400 organizations that support veterans in Colorado, and I'm a member of Voices for Justice, a mission task force of the Colorado Council of Churches. In this role, I have lobbied for various veterans and military bills since 2021. At the 2022 Theological Conference, Bishop Jim Gonia and I talked about me beginning supply pastor work in the Rocky Mountain Synod. You see, because of the pandemic, we did not have enough pastors to fill every pulpit. So since then, I have regularly served at other Rocky Mountain Synod congregations as a supply pastor or guest preacher. I have also been honored to preside at 3 military funerals. All funds earned from any of these endeavors by me have been donated to Veterans Servant Corps Project. Now, 2 huge coincidences here, and I don't believe either one of them are a coincidence, but the first one is Wendy Healy, a writer from Living Lutheran, asked me just a few weeks ago to interview me to have a magazine article appear in their last printed edition, which is coming out soon. It's their November-December 2023 magazine. Wendy titled the article, Serving Those Who Served. Although the magazine has not yet been released, I got early copies, so I know it's 34 and 35, and I know it's 2 pages and that there's a picture. And I know that Bishop Jim is right here. You can't see it, but you can stop by the table and see it. And Pastor Nick is right here. And if you come, I'm not going to take time to explain what this is all about because you can read, but you can pick these up after the service if you'd like to read more about it. The 2023 National Veteran Suicide Prevention Annual Report, that's a mouthful, was released 2 days ago by the VA. 2 days. A coincidence again? I think not. The report stated that 17 veterans completed suicide in 2021 each day. The latest year data is available. When Michael Peterson stood here in 2011, it was 20. We've had a global pandemic, and in 2021, I know 17 is too many. 17 a day is too many. But for me, it's amazing that the VA has been able to move it from 20 to 17 during a global pandemic. The report concluded with these words: to reach all veterans, we need all of you to help, including veteran service organizations, faith communities, and the entire nation. Anchored in hope, we move forward together with each of you, knowing we have much yet to learn, but fueled by the knowledge that we can make a difference in the lives of veterans around our country. Today is Generosity Sunday at Bethany. After worship, various Bethany partners will be in the fellowship hall. Please take time to go and talk with all of them. Larry and I will be at the Veteran Servant Corps Project table if you would like to stop by and learn more about our organization. And then you could also pick up a copy, an early copy, of the Living Lutheran article. For the past 12 years, my heart has been filled with gratitude every time I've told or thought about this story. I continue to be grateful for that worship service all those years ago and for all those who have supported Larry and I since then. Amen. Song? I didn't look ahead at the bulletin. We're going to sing the song that appears on page 5 of the bulletin.